It's good.
He just turned it
I
on.
appreciate you.
Sir?
How are you?
Councilman O'Neill. Councilman, go on with it. Anybody see Kevin?
Am I supposed to be up here? Or over there?
Anybody see Kevin? I hope Kevin can make it.
What are we doing first?
Councilman Boucher is here.
I'm not on fire.
Councilman Martin.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Kevin's here. That's Kevin. He's wearing a green shirt. That's it.
Remember Jane Fonda who used to do that workout thing, let's get physical?
There you go. The problem is that's how some people say the word.
Physical, yeah.
Physical.
Right.
Yeah, instead of physical.
Okay.
I can't say that.
These are the questions I ask when the microphone is not on. Okay.
Thank you.
You okay?
Yep. Y'all ready?
You ready when you're ready? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Just want to make sure the mics are hot where the audience can hear everybody. I'd like to thank the Finance Committee meeting for taking their time out of their busy schedule today to come here and go over the budget. All our department heads have worked very hard to put this budget together. We've been working on it for probably a little over a month, sharing some information with employees and council members. So, and letting the public know how your dollars and cents are spent here in the city of Pineville. Also, I'm glad.
Do we need to start over?
I'm glad this meeting is televised for the citizens that cannot get out and come here to this meeting this evening at 5 o'clock. So if the citizens that are home have any questions about this budget, feel free to call my office or ask us to come to your house and we'll explain it to you. And thank all the council members and the board members. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. So the first thing that Mr. Humphreys will come up and talk about is the budget for this fiscal year ending the end of this month, June. So, Mr. Humphreys, if you would lead us.
Yes, ma'am. All right, if you will look, this packet, the smaller packet, is your 24-25 budget and the amended budget. So, if you will look at the 24-25, our original budget, on the first page, you go all the way to the bottom, was $22,502,000. During the year, we had, for the amended budget, we brought in a total of our budget's being amended to $23,053,562. And Ms. Tim, if you'll go up to the top again, you're going to see one of the big reasons why we had an adjustment is sales tax revenue. Our sales tax revenue increased substantially during the year. So, for your revenues and your expenses to balance, we're having to amend the budget. And overall, it's a 2.5%. Our departments have done really, really well. You look through there, and I've got every department, pages are attached. But if you start at if you'll come down to executive, under city administration, you'll see executive. We budgeted $359,000. We had actual expenses of $394,000. During that time period, we had new appointments for mayor. We had to do all the changes and everything that we had to take care of in there, so we had an increase in there. City Hall administration went up by $18,000 overall out of a $1.9 million budget. You are going to see there's a city council line in there. There is nothing in it. When we do the 25-26 budget, the legislative auditors recommended we take the city council and give them their own department. So I've taken it out on the 25-26, took it out of administration, and gave the council their own. Community services was one of the big ones that increased a bunch. It went from $603,000 to $800,000. If you will flip, and Ms. Tammy, if you will go on your stuff, we're going to hit this one real quick so everybody will be the one with most questions. You'll go down to, scroll down to community services, about 4 pages down. You're going to executive, city hall, community services, right there. Under community services, you're going to see one of the big things right off the bat, Christmas decorations. We had budgeted $15,000, we spent $45,000. We did a lot of decorations on Main Street, the water tower, Keys Park. We bought a lot of inflatables, a lot of stuff for Christmas decorations. So we had to increase there. The other was the Mardi Gras parade. Your Mardi Gras parade was the very bottom, count 1661. You're going to see that one increase substantially. We budgeted $35,000. We spent a total of $81,000. That is going to be everything from doing the floats to throws to candy to all the different parades that we support. So if the mayor does our Mardi Gras parade, Alexandria parade, Pinecrest parade, any of these other parades, we provide throws, we provide candy, all of these things. So we now have got with community services, we've scaled that back, and you will see for next year, we scaled that back, and we understand we got to live in a budget for the parades. That's something we got to work on. Go back to page 1. That is community services. That was a big one. Police, overall, it's a on page 1 again, it's $7,791,000 was their budget. We spent $7,909,000, $118,000, a 1.52% increase. Whenever you look through the police department budget, it was right after community services. You will see that they did on data processing, we had a decrease, but you're going to see overall, their biggest increase was in our salary line. That was the big increase overall for the police department. Every position right now in the police department, chief, if I'm wrong, we're still short one, we feel that we're at 100%. So every position in the police department is filled. So we're doing great on that for the police department. Your next one, you're coming down fire, 0.14% over $8,600 out of a $5.9 million budget. They did excellent. City court, we had to increase there significantly. It went from 217 to 262. That is primarily due to data processing. Their software, all the court software. We had to get a lot of that upgraded, so that was a mandatory cost we had this year. So hopefully next year, we're gonna level out, we won't have that big increase. Marshall was an actual decrease of $2,100. So theirs was down. Public Works admin, 406,000, they spent 436, we were 30,000 over, it's a 7.46% increase. We've looked at theirs, and pretty much it's all of their, we've had equipment and stuff go down. City of Pineville, we've replaced a lot of our equipment, our assets, but we did have some aging equipment stuff. And what we're running into right now is AC units. A lot of AC units are having to be repaired, being worked on, and some of our equipment is aging. So we have to work on all of that.
Mr. Humphrey,
Yes, sir.
before you go too much further, going back to the city court,
Yep.
you were talking about it all being data processing. I noticed in the general fund revenue page, which is, I don't know how many pages it is, but it's on the first page of the general revenues. City court payroll reimbursement was projected to be $60,000. The amended budget shows 0.
Correct.
And then we're not doing anything in the projected budget.
Nope.
And, what happened to that?
And we just have, there's been no reimbursement on the city court fees at all. And you will also see when we get ready to do for the marshal, it's gonna be the same way. Their reimbursement has dropped significantly also. So both of those are, you're gonna see on the revenue side has dramatically decreased.
So that general fund $71,000 increase has nothing to do with that?
No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah, Darrell.
So, address that a little bit further. So, one of the things that we did when we came in was we looked at what we were spending on prisoner board, what was coming in as far as fees from the courthouse and the reimbursement through the PTI program. And it makes more sense for us economically to be able to get assistance from the judge's office to drop that overall prisoner bill. Those of y'all that have been around for years, you know how expensive that prisoner board bill can be. We're working actively every day through the police department and Captain Pittman, working with the marshal's office and the judge's office in a cooperative effort of making that balance come on the backside where we're dropping that overall prisoner board and increasing the fees coming over from city court. So the decrease that you're talking about, we're 60, we're in a very good posture to have more income than what that expenditure
To offset that.
Than to
that's-
offset that.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
that helps out on the explanation on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that. Keep talking.
The next one we were gonna go over was recreation. If you'll flip to the recreation budget, it is,
It's in the, it's in the.
roll down to recreation.
No, it's a separate.
35.
The budget. Yeah, no, but it's in here. No, I mean, but the
All
amount.
right, your recreation budget.
It's just, in-
You're going to see their biggest increase was, for them, was health insurance.
this is.
I had
the-
health insurance in there, and then I had a big
This is
one
the-
for utilities.
This is the new. and this is-
Last year, when we projected the budget, we did not have as near as many employees covered that was gonna be on the health insurance.
Show you the amended budget.
As when they enrolled this year, when this past year, when they enrolled in the open enrollment, most of them took health insurance.
He goes even
If
further
you are filing single or employee-only insurance, it's 100% covered by the city. So we had several of them come in and take the insurance, and we picked up that additional cost.
He's got 20.
So that was a line item that we had not anticipated. They were not on it before, but now they're enrolled in it. You're gonna also see our utilities went up significantly. We budgeted for $50,000, it ended up being $80,000, for our budget.
Also, I noticed the salaries and benefits are going up. Is that just the COLA increases?
Yes, correct. That is what you're
In
seeing.
all departments?
Yes, sir. Every department, that's gonna be the COLA increase. Your next one is going to be shop. Shop went from 257,000 to 280,000. Overall, the shop line, what you're gonna see is salary line is gonna be the one that had the increase, and you're gonna see the only other areas was rentals. We had to rent some lifts and different things for stuff that we were using during the year, so we didn't budget enough on that one. And so, you know, it's a hit or miss on how many rentals we're gonna actually have during the year, but we had to do some lift and extra, equipment that we had to have for different projects. The next one is animal control. Animal control actually went down. Animal control has been a great thing for doing, is for grant programs. You're going to see our budget was $451,000. We are gonna amend their budget to $400,000. And if you look at theirs, you're gonna see one of the big areas toward the bottom, veterinary expense. Yes, sir.
No, I'm just agreeing with you on the
Okay.
question.
Okay. The veterinary expense went down significantly. Ms. Eaton has been working with different organizations. We've got grants that's coming in. They're covering a lot of the expenses that we're not having through the veterinary expense. We had the 7 positions in there. Some of the positions were not filled. That's why you're seeing excess lines there on the salary line. Your next one that you're going to have is going to be streets. Streets went from 659 to 670. Salaries was down on that one, but you're going to see the big one for them is utilities. We went up big times in utilities and heavy equipment repairs and maintenance. We had some repairs that had to be done on equipment in the street department. Those are very costly. And also our utilities. Understand, street lights everywhere. We've got everything converted to LEDs. So, but still we have a lot of areas, and we just took a hit this year on streets, on the utilities.
Mr. Humphrey,
That's a big
Yes, sir.
used to be all the lights went through street department.
Correct.
Is it still that way?
Yes, sir.
I thought we had divided it out.
No, we still have streets. We still have some that's gonna be when we, other departments like the pumps and different things like that, the waste, pump stations and stuff, that's running through water and wastewater. We've got those, but all your street lights are still run through the street department.
Okay, so the other utilities have been bought?
No, no, sir.
Okay.
Recreation has all the ballparks, Keys Park, all of that kind of stuff.
Okay. And you said repairs, quite a bit of our equipment is leased. Do we still cover the repairs on those?
Okay, this right here is not, we do not lease the equipment for the street department. We own the equipment for a street department. Some of it's old, we're getting new equipment, and so this is our own equipment. The equipment we have in garbage, trash, the loaders, the garbage trucks, those are all leased pieces of equipment.
Okay.
Those are there, those are separate. This is stuff that we had, this was a Yanmar excavator, we had to get repaired, I don't remember. We had a track come off of one, we messed with those before, that's several $1,000s to get the tracks fixed. So it's just expenses that we did incur.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not expenses on cars or trucks.
Oh, no, sir, no, this is heavy equipment. The next one is drainage. Drainage went down, we had 577. We amended the budget to 552,000. It's down to 24,000. And you will see they did great all the way across the board. Oil and gas for them went up. Drainage cuts a lot of grass, lot of grass. So therefore, their oil and gas, their fuel expenses have gone through the roof for them. That's a big one. And again, repair or heavy equipment repair and maintenance. We overshot the budget did go over on that one. Even though overall they're negative, repairs and maintenance on our older equipment is still catching us. So that's stuff we gotta work on. Buildings, is the next one, 245,000. It went down to 225,000. Pretty much all their savings was in the salary line. All the positions were not filled in there. For the whole year, had some temp employees and different things, so that saved us overall at the end of the year. And you're gonna see the only thing that went up for them was insurance. We had another vehicle. So, but The additional vehicle is what the insurance cost went up. Beautification, 461, 491, an increase of 29,000. Beautification is another, there's a lot of grass cutting. Beautification, all from the plants to all the grass cutting that we have going on. You will see their big one that went up for them was health insurance. We had budgeted 59,000, it ended up being 99.
Yikes.
$11,000 is what our previous for our health insurance was, 11,900 for employee only, 11,900. So if you have 5 employees that start during the year and they all take employee insurance, we're up that 50,000, we're gonna be up 59,000. So there's your, what a lot of your stuff, a lot of your increase is due to new employees taking insurance. You will see during the year, the rest of their expenses, they kept pretty much all in line other than insurance. We had to carry,
It's in the front of this.
when you're doing your equipment and doing some of the equipment, we had to have insurance to make sure we had coverage on all of our stuff as we're cutting the roadways, cutting everything for glass breakage and everything. So we made sure, and there was an additional cost to have that additional insurance. That is beautification. So all your departments are there, it's a summary on page 1. You can look at the details on all of them. But in a nutshell, for our 24-25 budget was $22,502,000. We're going to amend it to $23,053,562. It's an increase of $551,562, which is a 2.5% increase. It's less than 5. Technically, you don't have to amend it, correct? I'm still asking y'all to amend the budget from 22 to 23 million, the number there, even though it's less than 5%, because these are our numbers, and that's on the 24-25 budget.
Mr. Humphries, do you have one more of this last-minute handout that you gave out? Mr. Ford was late and didn't get one. We can get it to you. Oh, there we go. We can get it to you in a minute. Oh, perfect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So do we need a motion to recommend the amended budget that's
Yes.
presented to the council when we meet again on the, what is it, the 30th?
Yes.
So I'll ask,
I'll move to recommend.
move to recommend?
Unless there's any questions, I mean,
Yeah,
before
we
we
can,
go to that.
oh, that's a good point, thank you for that. Any more observations or questions for this? Is this just one piece? The current year ending.
I'll second that motion.
All right, so I've got a motion second to recommend the adoption of the amended general fund budget for 2025 to the council.
All right.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed to that? Thank you very much. All right,
Great
now-
job, Ms. Humphrey.
I'm
All
sorry.
right.
Good job.
Now, we're gonna have one more.
Now we'll go to the new year.
The big binders, the 25-26 budget. I take a very, very, very conservative view on our revenues, and you see our budget year was 22.5, amended to 23. I'm going back down to 22.8. When we get ready to do that, so you're gonna see that. I'm kind of keeping it just a small increase. I do not feel that we need to be messing with anything as far as showing a huge increase. If you will flip through your budget binders, you're gonna see the mayor's letter, organizational chart, your jurisdictions, the budget process. You'll see the economic stats. And then you're gonna see general fund summary. This is pretty much the whole thing here. You're gonna see 2025-26, column, the third one, projected budget. At the very bottom, if you'll go down to the bottom, you will see our budget, our requesting is $22,877,951. Compared to the $23 million budget, it's a 0.76% decrease. Compared to the original budget of 22,502, it's a 1.7% increase. So, however you want to look at it on those two parts.
Well,
Yeah.
I will say I really appreciate, bumping it up, because in the past, it's something we had discussed, a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yes, sir.
We would be all the way back down to what it was, and it's like, why are we doing that? We know it's gonna increase.
Yes, sir.
So to get us even closer to what the amended budget was, puts us in a good position.
I mean, we're less than 1% different from the amended
Yeah.
budget. So if we'll just stay on this first page right here, if you'll look at the, come down on there, general fund revenue, your proposed revenue, you know, non-departmental, community, fire, police, total revenue is $22,877,000. Ladies and gentlemen, our bread and butter for the city of Pineville is sales tax. That is our revenue source. The ad valorem tax, you're looking at 1.6 million. Out of all the property tax, that's all you're looking at, is 1.6 million. The rest of this, you're seeing is 17, 18 million a year is gonna be your sales tax. That's our bread and butter. Then you're gonna have community services, and I'll have details we'll cover in a moment. That's gonna be your Tudor Center, Main Street, Keys Park, all these facilities that we lease. Police has revenue sources that come in through them. We're looking at 188,000 on them. And then the fire gets a reimbursement from them through the state, and that's 81,400, what we're estimating for next year. Your skip down to executive, we're going from 394 to 375,000 for the budget there. City Hall administration, it's going to be 1.9 million. You're going, wait a minute, that's a big decrease. I pulled out the next line. City council is going to have their own budget line. I've shown your salaries in there, plus some expenses. I gave you conferences, admin fees, office supplies. So we'll be able to code y'all's expenses directly to that account. Community services, we've increased it from 800,000 to 815. We are making strides at Bulow Lake. We are pushing hard from RV pads that are there. They're making strides there to the ballparks, to different things. They're working on stuff there. But community services has been working on all the Main Street Community Center, Tudor, they're fixing that. We have air conditioners. We put in 10 on the front of the buildings. They're looking at putting an additional tent on the inside. So community services is making a big push, so we're going to have additional expenses at their department.
Before you move on, Mr. Humphreys, we went straight into the city administration. The proposed expenditure summary for non-departmental,
Yes, sir.
that saw a big decrease.
Yes, sir.
You know, can you kind of explain what that is?
Okay, and the previous one was 1.4 million, now it's 991,000. This is going to be non-discretional expenses that we have. This is, your revenue is 22 million. I have my expenses. This is the difference between the two of them. So this is funds if we need to work or have something that's additional in a department, any additional expenses that we have, that's the account that I use to fund any additional repairs, equipment, anything that we need.
That's a fund, the old fund balance. That's what
Okay.
that is.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All right, your next one is city council. You got 137,000. It was not in there before, but it came out of city hall administration. Part of that did, and then we've increased it to give additional expenses in there. Community services, we covered it. The next is police. Police went from 7,909,000 to 7,863,000. We'll cover it. It's a $46,000 decrease, and we'll cover those in detail in a moment. Fire was about the same thing, 5.9 million. It's going to stay at 5.9 million. There's a $49,000 decrease in that one. City court is 262,000. We're going to 334. We have additional costs at court. I talked to you about data processing. We're still upgrading some items there they have at city court. So that's just to get us in line with all the processing of tickets and everything, get all that streamlined. We've got to do the upgrade to get that taken care of. The next one is city marshal. City marshal is 407,000. We're going to 461. We'll cover that when we hit the marshals in a moment. Public works admin, 436 to 503. Recreation, you'll see 791 to 764, it's a decrease. Shop, we went up by 11, and most of this, 90% of you're gonna see on these is we did a 2% across the board,
Salary raise.
salary increase. So that is being shown right off the bat. You're gonna see that in all the salary lines. Drainage, buildings, beautification, all of those had the low 30s, and you're gonna see a lot of that's due to salary. Overall, from 23 million, we got 22.8. You're looking at roughly $300,000 over our original 24-25 budget. If you will flip a couple pages to this revenue summary, sales taxes, you can see that graph on there has gone through the roof. We've been great with that. You have your 0.5%, you're going to have your 1% parish, 5% of the parish sales tax collections there. Ad valorem had a decrease. Had a decrease in the ad valorem taxes this year. I can't tell you exactly why. I know we just did a property, adjudicated property, we had all of that, but we did have a decrease in property tax. Don't know if the previous year, if some of it was posted during the end of the previous year, more of it than what got posted. So maybe that, it could be a timing issue.
Is this a projected number?
Yes, sir. Well, no, my actual number's what I have right now, but this is projected. Yes, sir.
What do you project based on the assessor's office?
No, our collections. It's strictly on our collections.
Just to speak on it real quick, some of the tax sale rules ended up having some tax sales after we normally would have had them. Typically, you do them every year. COVID meant you had a couple in the same year, so we've had kind of a trailing effect where we got more in collection than we should because of tax sales, and having multiple tax sales in the same year, but now it's back to where it ought to be, and that's why you see it kind of return to the mean.
Makes sense.
Before COVID, right, with values. So that's why you're seeing it.
Where you typically expect to see a slight increase, because every 4 years, there's a reassessment, right?
And that's
Yeah,
what,
a slight increase, so if you go back down to where it was in 2020 before COVID, to where you're at now, you have that slight increase if you look at it. The rest of it is kind of a rounding error from all perspectives, okay? But that's why you had that increase.
Franchise fees. You're going to have Atlas, Cleco, and Optum.
Are we gonna add Vexus later for the amended budget later?
That's what we're going to discuss
Okay.
at the, for your next meeting, and for if there's going to be a franchise fee for Vexus, that has to be approved. I did not have a franchise fee for them, so I did not
Gotcha. Yep.
include that in here.
but we'll add that before, probably can add, if we finish the agreement, we'll be able to add it at the adoption time.
And y'all know anything about pay? You look at Optimum, you see their numbers are going down, but I understand a lot of people are moving to Vexus. And so you're going to see an
Maybe a
offset
kind of a wash.
between those two. General fund revenues. We'll hit the high points on these. Here's your taxes. Was 20, if you look at the bottom of that column, first one, you're going to see 11,993,700. That was projected in 24. It ended up being 12,365,000. I am showing 12,396,000. It's technically a $31,000 increase. I am showing an increase in ad valorem taxes. I feel we're going to have an increase on that one to 614. We're looking at an increase for your sales tax, franchise tax, sales taxes, but none of it's outrageous through the roof.
Can I ask,
Yes, sir.
do you have a separate AT&T franchise that's going to call?
No, sir.
Because I think that's where a lot of the Optimum people have gone to their digital offerings.
Oh, to their fiber
Their fiber
network?
offerings, right.
Well, we may want to
So I don't
investigate
know,
that.
Mayor, if that's something that
We can look into that later and see, because I know we have a franchise fee with AT&T and stuff, so.
that's what I'm thinking about, AT&T, I don't see this.
I don't think we have, we don't have a, no, we get leases from them, not
I
franchise.
said I don't have the,
If they're on a right away or whatever, we have some, they're not big money though.
Get back to it.
yeah, well,
Yeah, that's worth looking at.
and if you look at your accounts there, you're gonna see 1115 for our franchise tax on Cleco, 1120 is on Optimum, 1125 is on that. That's my rate that I'm showing for franchise. So.
That's a good,
All right, your sales taxes, you'll see that, your license and fees was, for the amended budget was $560,900, we're going just to $568. We're just doing an increase pretty much on your occupational licenses and animal adoptions. I just don't see a lot of increase in none of that all the way through there. That's pretty much gonna stay pretty much flat throughout the entire year. Leases, Real Deal Marine, you're gonna see that's zero, that's no longer an option. That's going straight to the state now, so that's not something that we're gonna be administering any longer.
well, that was a pass-through anyway,
That was
though. We
straight
didn't
pass-through.
make any money off of it,
No.
just had to fool with it, so
That's
just as
correct.
soon let the state handle it.
Lease income, water tower, we're still staying around 3,000 on those. A cellular lease.
Oh, here we go.
That we get checks each month on that, that's gonna be, remain constant at 10,000 on that one. And you got a lease income on the transient, that's gonna be 14,800 total. That one's dropped because of just the Real Deal.
Yeah. But it wasn't any real money
No
anyway.
real money, but it's passed.
No real money.
Rental, this is where I am hoping this is gonna be. Keys Park Pavilion, Main Street Center, Bragg Street Tudor, Beulah Ballpark, 28 Center. They have been making, if you look at the first column, we only budgeted on 24, original budget was 4,400, 17,000, and 17,538. We ended up being at 50,700 on those facilities. I keeping it there, but I'm hoping this is both. The Recreation and Community Services Department, really falls under Community Service, has been making a huge push on these facilities, on the leasing of those. They're fixing them up, the tables, the covers, everything. They're working hard on that, and I'm hoping we can really start getting a return on those facilities.
That's a good change on the end of the year.
The interfund calculations, okay, allocations.
Yeah, it wasn't a big.
You're gonna have, your second one is gonna be, fire police salary, 1,024,000, showing an increase of 20,000. Your 81 sales tax, we're showing 3.1 million, and utility fund appropriation of 4.2 million. So, that's the funds that comes from the utility department to the general fund to cover our budget. That is a transfer from utilities to us. More revenues on the next page. Vehicle damage, okay. We estimate we're gonna have $2,000. There was an accident, there were several accidents, that we were reimbursed for, we were not in the wrong, and it was $18,900. I'm showing it back to around $5,000 for next year. I'm hoping no accidents, but that's what we're gonna have. You flip to the previous page on your certified change, so it's back one. It's general fund, go up, keep going up. General fund, and it's gonna be the first line, it's gonna be vehicle damage.
Go up one page, go up one,
Okay,
go up
Go
one
up
page.
one page, up one
They
more.
were flipped,
That's how the other one.
Go back.
Yeah, go,
they were accidentally flipped.
yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Up, back, left, right.
There we go.
A lot of numbers
All
here.
right, vehicle damage, that was one that we had some accidents, got reimbursed for that. The other one that you're gonna see is miscellaneous employee reimbursements. These are, employees as for reimbursements for various things. We budgeted 6, that went to 10, so that line item went from 8,100, and we're gonna be budgeting 13,100 this coming year. Others, this is a request for tax notice, that's flat. Proceeds from auction. We had an auction this year, sold some excess equipment during this auction and brought in $116,000.
Yay.
We had budgeted 25,000 for the budget for the auction, brought in 116. I'm putting it back at 25,000 for next year. We are gonna have, some equipment that we're gonna be able to, different things we're gonna be surplus this coming year, so we're gonna be selling that, and so hopefully that's where for our auction revenue. Fire protection, that's staying the same. Interest interest income is remaining the same. Vendor reimbursement, we had nothing budgeted for that. We got a refund, numerous refunds for $147,000. I'm budgeting back down to 15. I will use one, it's a garbage company we done work with, the different things, and they refunded us like $62,000. We had some utility credits that's been sitting out there on some of our accounts, it was several thousand. So those type, we've been pursuing any credits, open balances we've had with our vendors that was due to the city. And so that's where we got a lot of refunds in. I just don't see that much for next year, but
Good work there.
we do have 15,000 in there.
Good work, Mr. Humphries.
The next one is miscellaneous revenues, that's where it's staying the same. Your next one is miscellaneous, it's miscellaneous refund. We never budgeted for that one, but we do have some other refunds that just come in. They're not coded to nothing, so they're on the miscellaneous. We're coding that one. Marshal garnishment request, $49,000 is what we budgeted last year. It amended at 34. It's now going to be $2,400. $200 each month on the litter abatement position is what we're going to be receiving reimbursement on. So that one was a decrease in that revenue source there. Supplemental pay is going to stay the same. That's a pass-through comes in and we issue the payments on that. Your next one is going to be city court juvenile fees. We budgeted $97,000. This is where we're talking about the offset. We received $137,000 in there, and now we're going to be budgeting $138,000. Total revenues that you're going to Don Department was $22,593,000 up to date. The next one is going to be for your various community services and police. Community services, we're going to make a community services, we'll be working hard for some Mardi Gras parade, for our sponsors, for Mardi Gras parade, Fifth Saturday, fireworks over Bulow, and Fall Fest. In the past, you're going to see we had budgeted for fireworks was $500. You're going to see Fall Fest was $36, Mardi Gras was $7, $3, and you'll see our actual numbers was $4,000, $3,000, $1,000, and $2,800 for those events, for sponsors to support those events. Right now, 4th of July event that's coming up, the mayor, community services, the chief operating officer, FASCO, they have all worked with various businesses and everything. Right at 20,000, right at 20,000 has been collected so far.
That's excellent,
Just
Mayor.
for sponsors for fireworks over Bulow.
Excellent work.
So that is a big push that we're going to have in reference to this coming up. And we're going to go make a push for all of the events. Police, prosecution fees. This one right here, we budgeted 56, it's dropped, it was a 40. I'm just showing 44 on that one. It's a fluid number, but I'm hoping we can keep that cost down, keep it below 50 on prosecution fees.
Mr. Humphrey,
Yes, ma'am.
is that related to 9261 prosecutor reimbursement? Oh, that's a whole
That's
different.
a different one.
What happened with that 9261 that it dropped from? It's just, we just had budgeted and it's not materialized?
No, that one is not, that has not been, well, let me explain. Due to city court juvenile fees and prosecutor reimbursement. Chief Pasco explained to me, there's technically been no juvenile court.
Right.
This is the account that everything has been hitting in. It is really under prosecution reimbursement. That's one where we're doing our next one for the budget for the 30th. That will be selected to the proper account. But there is no longer a juvenile court at our court, correct? Yeah.
So-
It goes under prosecution.
So that's just going to move over to that line? Okay.
That is correct.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
No.
so we're correcting that. That'll be another one of the
It's
tweaks
just
that we have to make.
account number, and this is the account number. All of revenue sources come in, but it's really the prosecutor's reimbursement.
Right, right. Well, that makes sense. Thank you.
All right, police, we're gonna come down, all these are same, let me just see if there's any, all those are pretty much flat, you'll see pretty much flat from last year. The only one was the prosecutor fee, it went up by 4, but that's where your grand total at the bottom is $22,877,951 for our revenue sources. Expenses, you will see, can you just keep going? We're going to go on past pictures, past graph. You will go back up one to the insurance, right there, one with the insurance line. Then you're going to see a page with that blue and white graph, that's for the insurance. Insurance currently, 24-25. That far left-hand column at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, here's the insurance.
The mayor said we're gonna put this out for bid, put it out for bid to hunt for different providers. Currently, we are paying in the current budget year, employee only, $974.94 for employee only insurance. We pay that 100%. Yeah, the U insurance plan that we have is going to down to $893.45. Employee and spouse, it is $1,949.85. It's going down to, the insurance premium is going down to $1,736.90. Our city coverage of that's really $1,274, the far right-hand column. Employee and children, going down from $1,400 down to $1,284. Employee and family, $2,111.26, going down to $1,917.33. The far right-hand column is the city's portion on our insurance coverage. We have, yes, sir.
And how is this reduction being reached?
This was reached by, when we put the insurance policy out for bid, we put it out, the insurance companies bid for it, and this is the rate, the best one, the rate that we received on this program. The issue that we do have, you're gonna have with all of your insurance, the employees portion of the insurance, they get the debit card, and technically it pays for their co-pays. It's a great option for the employees. They get $7,200 on the debit card. So when they do their insurance, employee only. And Ms. Colson is here. Roughly 80% of our employees are employee only on our insurance policy. Yeah, we're roughly at 80% of our all employee only. So we're paying all of their insurance.
Thank you.
Employee and spouse, employee and child, and family, the employee pays a portion of that, and then we pay a portion. But if it's employee only, we pick up 100%, and that's what the majority of our employees have. Next one. This is going to be your general fund. And this is going to be, we're going to just flip this one, Tammy, and we're going to go straight into the departments. And go straight to executive. No, the executive. All right, executive. Here's your, just to hit your high points on this, you've got your salary section, amended budget was $317, we're going down to $316. Advertising, we had an increase, but you're gonna see conference and meetings was $11,300, we're going down to $9,500. Pretty much everything is flat. Gas and oil will increase it to $4,500 on that one. And the rest of it you're gonna see is a decrease. We decreased a lot of their budgets. A lot of this stuff that we had in the 24-25 was standing up. When the administration came in, we got everything from nameplates to everything you can imagine for all of that. Went to several conferences to get up to speed on everything going on, and we just had additional costs at that point.
That still wasn't much, though.
And that is overall, that was a decrease. City Hall admin. This one right here, you're gonna see their positions, when their salary line went down. You're gonna see their pension went down. And we had a legal settlement, line 9100, that we had in our amendment one, it is no longer there. So there was a decrease in that. We are increasing our attorney fees to $112,000. We went up on that one. Got our increase in our audit costs. We have a big increase in condemnation and demolition. We had budgeted 75, we spent 11, but we're getting ready to start a bunch of condemnations. So when that kicks in, we're gonna have additional costs coming up on that now. Well, we're going to also have on there the data processing. If we budgeted, originally 4071, we spent 68. We are converting a lot of our payroll system, our W-2s, our 1099s to electronic. So instead of every 2 weeks, when the payroll is carrying and processing it, they print the checks, print the stuff, put it in the envelope, stuff the envelope, all of this, we're going to now be doing electronic. It's going to go out to the employee's email, and they're not coming back on the following Monday saying, hey, they're copying my pay stub. It will be electronic. So to do that, we have to buy extra for the software through our software company to get everything electronic. We get W-2s electronic. We're doing 1099s to vendors electronic. So as much as we can do electronic, it's got. And software overall just ain't going up. The cost of the program keeps going up every year. IT consultants remain the same. I'm just looking at the big ones. You're going to have a engineer Pan American. We budgeted 55. We only spent 23 last year. I'm showing again 55 in there. The grant program. We budgeted 30. We spent 0. This is a C fund. If we have a grant writer or anyone that we can get for the city that's external, that could write some grants for us, we've got the money in the budget to at least start with the process. Right now, we never spend anything on it. Locating a grant writer, that would be something that's sufficient for the city. It's been challenging, to say the least. But we do have money in the account for that one. Your last one that you're going to see down there is your Plexos group. I've got 20,000. I'm hoping we're about through with that. We spent 27. They're the ones that's before all of us got around, so they'll be here. That was the ones when the hurricanes came through, they did all the limbs and all the hurricane damage, and they picked up. They're a company that handles all the paperwork. We've had an audit from FEMA, and they are assisting us with all of that. So hopefully that will be winding up real soon.
No more hurricanes.
Yeah. Community services. Salaries just went from, if you look at the grand total, the projected budget's 587,000, it went up 89,000. You're going to see, there was a big increase in salaries of 2% in there, and then you're going to see health insurance. We had more people in community services going to be taking the health insurance, so it went from 76 to 101. That's just based on benefits after that. All the rest of their other areas, they went down considerably, and like we discussed, Mardi Gras parade at the bottom, fourth one from the bottom, we're keeping that at 35,000. We are going to strive, and Christmas decorations, we're going to strive. We're working hard on the LED lights for the tower to get brand new LED lights. We bought before it burns down. We bought a lot of strands this year already, and we'll be putting them up this coming year. So a lot of the strands, we got the new bulbs, new strands in, so that was in the current year budget, so hopefully that won't be in. And it will be some real nice LED lights and everything on the water tower, and they're working on some more decorations for Main Street and different areas. Mardi Gras parade, that was the biggie, and that's going to be cut down by, we're keeping that 35,000.
looking for the sponsors there, that'll make a big
That is
difference.
correct, sponsors and everything else.
Good.
Next one is police. Police had an increase in salaries by $12,751. You're going to see pension increase on that one, $41,000. Health insurance, $82,000 decrease. We went from majority, everyone in there is employee only, changing it over from the 800, right, 973 to the 824. You do that times 80 positions, whatever, start saving some money.
Wonderful.
So, that was a big decrease, that's why you see on the decrease on there is on insurance. Your other one that you have, and please forgive me, is coroner fees. I might be totally off. This is coroner fees. If you pass away, someone passed away, they reside in Pineville, we get the bill. So, that is, we're showing right now for the $40,000, we had 44,000, I'm sorry, 88,000, I'm showing 45,000, I may be totally off on that.
And that
But
is, that's strictly for people who live within the city limits, right?
That
I
is
think if
correct.
Not just has a Pineville.
No, if you,
No, I think if you die here,
if you die in the
if
city
you
limits.
die
No,
here,
if you reside here.
oh, only if you reside here?
Correct.
Is that
If
right?
you reside here in Pine, you have a Pineville address, you're in Alexandria, you're in you're in,
Oh, I misunderstood too. I thought it was in,
it's,
Where they came to collect the bond.
well, I think the fee is whoever they
If
send
you
it back.
die at
It's like,
home, you live in Pineville, you get charged, we get charged for it. If you come over here from somewhere and die in the Walmart parking lot, we get charged for it.
oh, well, I see, he's right.
If you are in a nursing home and your primary residence for the last, I forgot what the exact number is, but X amount of years was Pineville, and you die in that nursing home somewhere else, we get charged for it.
Wow. So we do pay for pretty much everybody who dies here, yeah. And there's nothing we can do about that,
No,
yeah.
that's not gonna happen.
Well, maybe we ought to have maybe we need to have a new fee for it. If you're gonna put a nursing home over here, and people's dying, they can add a little something.
okay, but anyway, that's corner fee. I know I'm showing at the very bottom, $46,000 decrease. That could be totally wiped out if the corner fees, increase during the year. Okay, that's what you're looking at there. You're gonna see the other one that went down with gas and oil. I had originally budgeted 130, 24, 25. We spent 153, talked with Captain Pittman and everything, and we feel that 145 would be an adequate number for their police units. The other one that we had was prisoner court. We budgeted 120. We had spent 140,000. And that's what the chief was talking about earlier. We're gonna be looking at that one at 120, and hopefully with all the coordination going on, that cost will decrease throughout the year. Your last one, repairs to, vehicles, repairs and maintenance. We budgeted 80 last year. We spent 110. We're looking at 80,000. Folks, we are doing a lease program. We have got rid of a lot more of our older units during this past auction. I feel that once we get newer vehicles, our wear and tear on our vehicles are not there. The maintenance costs, I'm hoping, will be curtailed, and we'll be down to tires, windshields that break, and the fuel cost. I'm hoping our major transmissions, engines, all that stuff will decrease dramatically. And your last one that went down was uniforms. We feel that all the positions have been filled. Hopefully they're on their regular uniform cycle, but we will have a decrease overall in uniforms. So far, you're looking at $7.9 million was spent last year for the police department. We're looking at $7,863,491 for their budget, $46,000 decrease. And that's what you're looking at there. Primarily, you're gonna see the coroner's board, and you're gonna look at the prisoners board. Fire, you're gonna see a salary increase of 110,000, 2% across the board there. You're gonna see pensions had an increase. Health insurance, The fire department authorized 54 positions. Chief is here. We have all 54 positions filled, correct? So they're at 100% staffing. So we're going to have a decrease in their health insurance, again, because of the lower insurance. That's a savings there of 45, the increase of 45,000, but the insurance offset a lot of it. You're going to see your biggest decrease if you come down for insurance. We are doing a lease, purchase option, a lease purchase on their fire trucks. When we do this, I have to have RMI, is our liability insurance. Brown & Brown is our primary one that we use for our comprehensive insurance. When you're doing when you're doing these lease options on these, you have to have liability insurance and comprehensive. Never had it before on fire trucks, so we're doing those trucks. Those are $40-something thousand a pop to have the insurance on that. So right now, we're going to soon be paying off one of our fire trucks. So that's why we're looking at a decrease on the insurance, on their insurance right there, $26,000. That during the year, we will get one paid off, and so we'll have that one a decrease. The only other thing that you're going to see a decrease in vehicles, repairs, and maintenance. We have a vein in our existence right now in the fire department. It's called fire truck number 1. A ladder truck. If it's a day that ends in Y, it has issues. So let me just tell you, it is the ladder, it's the transmission, it's the brakes, it's the tires, it's something. Chief, what is it right now? Head gasket. This one right now, we are hoping is coming out of its decrepit mode because we replaced everything else on it. So we're at 131. I'm going to show it $60,000 in repairs. Repairs and maintenance to vehicles. Our other fire trucks are new. This truck, a ladder truck, is on order. It's still got 3 years or 4 years? 3 years left before that will come in. Hoping we can keep our ladder truck limping along, but just let you know, we do have costs on it. Operational, all that, don't get me wrong, fire coverage is good, it's just, there's always some type of maintenance issue. We get an extended warranty maintenance, program for all of our fire trucks this year. We've got them set up, want to check the oil, maintenance them, everything, so that's going to be a good option we have.
Got a quick question for Chief. Up at the top, it says 54 authorized positions, but 56 filled. Can you clarify that?
Yes, I can. But, we had 2 that were, previously approved. We just happened to lose 2 not long ago, so we're back down to the original 53.
Okay.
When this was printed up, we were at 56. We were 2 open. We are back, they've lost 2, so we're back to our 100% strength.
Gotcha. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Good luck.
And so you're going to see their budget was their amended budget was $55,975,000. We're going to be $5,926,000 is what we're proposing for the fire. City court, big one you're going to see in there is going to be salaries. They got 5 positions. They have all 5 positions have been filled. That's all that's going to be filled right now. That increases their pension, that increases all their stuff except for health insurance because of the cost. It went down $6,000, but all their positions are now 100% filled. So before we didn't have all of them, and so now we have to fund all of them. Data processing went to 33, we're showing 30. Insurance is staying the same, and telephone staying the same. So due to salaries, we're going to be up $71,000 on it. Just the data processing, you look at it, going back was $20,000, and it's gone to 30. City Marshal. Marshall has got for him, his amended budget was about $353, we're going to $404. Again, it's going to be salaries to $43,000. You're going to have all your pension, Social Security pension, decrease in health insurance, workers' comp went up because of all the positions. His gas and oil went up, so did his office supplies. vehicles, repairs, and maintenance, we had budgeted 500, we had 3 flats. Just glad that there's only a few vehicles in there, but $500 don't carry very long with tires now. So we increased it by 1,000. Public Works admin. Public Works admin, theirs was 305,000 amended budget, going to 347. They had a 2% across the board, pay increase, so you're gonna see salaries and everything that went up across the board on them, including insurance. They have additional person that has insurance in there. And then you're going to see the other one that we're gonna include is engineering. Pan American, we spent 0 in 24, 25. I'm still putting it back in there at 20,000 as an increase of the $24,000 that you're gonna see in there. 20,000 of it's Pan American increase. We had an increase in insurance in the building and insurance on vehicles also. Recreation, 2% across the board, that's gonna be your salary for all their 11 positions. Benefits, decrease in insurance, a lot of those employee only. And you're going to see the big one at Beulah Lake at the very bottom. It dropped from $25,000, we spent 45 to, we're showing 25 next year. We spent a lot of money on, we got the RV pad set up, we worked on the building there at the front, working on painting, worked on the inside of it. There's several other projects in the works that are going to be going out there. This includes spraying for lily pads, spraying the reeds around there. That's an ongoing battle that Recreation is working on that every single month. And you're going, that is under Beulah Lake. Each part you're going to see it's 9, went from 11 to 9. Shop. 4 positions. It's a 2% increase on that one. You're going to see that gas and oil went up by 2,000. Everything else, you have a few of them that went up, repairs and maintenance, vehicle repairs and maintenance, and small tools. Small tools, when we got here, there was sockets, all and everything, small engine repair kits was very limited. We have been working now to try and get all their small tools, their tire machines, all their tire equipment, balancing equipment, getting everything for them that they need. Animal control. Animal control requested to go up $5,100 on their budget. You're going to see 7 positions overall went from 170 to 194. It's a $24,000 increase. You're going to see Social Security benefits, health insurance went down by $19,500 due to the savings and cost. Employee training, Animal Control has everything that they have to get qualified for their personnel. To take care of these animals, to do all the laws and everything, they have to stay trained on that. So we're increasing their employee training from $2,900 to $6,000. That's something we do not want to get caught on. Your insurance went up for them. You're going to see also their operation supplies, we went up by 1,000. Their pet adoption certificates, we went up by 5,000. But we had veterinary expense, all that went down. We're budgeting less than that this coming year. Streets. Streets is going to be your big one. We have a $47,900 increase. Of that is primarily salaries. The 2% across the board for them, their benefits, insurance went down. Overall, you're going to see that a lot of their areas we went down in rental of equipment because we're going to be replacing it in cabs. There's some, again, more equipment that we're going to be requesting, street sweeper that we're looking at, getting fixed and everything. So that will hopefully will decrease a lot of our streets department costs. But it's gone from 670 to 718. Drainage. Drainage has a $36,700 increase. You're looking at their salaries. With salary, overall, their expenses, they're good except for lawnmower repairs. We had to increase that one. call for blades, pulleys, everything else, and they do a lot of things. Expressway, everywhere. Their cost has gone up, so we've increased that line. They did have, Huffman Creek pump repairs, we decreased that one, and we decreased the heavy equipment repairs, maintenance.
We're not using the sheriff's crews? I mean, that
Yes,
was-
ma'am, we still have a
we still
sheriff
have them
crew.
in there?
The sheriff crew, by the time we pay the sheriff's crew, we do that one. They go out and they pick up trash along the right of ways, you know, everything ahead of our grass cutting crews.
Yeah, where are they-
Overpasses, everything.
Where are they at in the budget, though?
Yeah, one per.
So they're in drainage, or where are they at, in streets?
No, I've got, litter abatement.
Oh, litter abatement, that's
Litter
right, that's
abatement.
right, that's right, yeah, thank you, sir. I forgot about the litter abatement.
Buildings,
Quick question, Mayor, are we, do I remember correctly that we're inquiring about picking up maybe a few more reimbursements on the cutting of the expressway? Is that, we working on that?
We're working with the legislatures to see if we can get some more money. We only pay for cuts. And we're gonna try to add some more money to that effect. Also to, talk about the new money that's gonna be coming in this fiscal year. In the past, we received off the hangars at Pineville Airport, $4,200 a year. This new fiscal year, we should receive $25,200 a year. We also converted over how many electric meters? This is 6, they initial pay.
correct, yes.
They're gonna be paying for 6 electric meters now out there, where in the past, the city would pay for. So they're picking up that, so that's new money that we'll be saving out there.
Stuff, thank you.
Thank you.
Buildings is salary increase, you'll see it on there, on the salary by 18,000. Benefits, health insurance, all their employees have health insurance. So that was an increase. And the rest of them, that you're gonna see, vehicles, repairs, maintenance, they have a leased vehicle, so their repairs and maintenance should be down considerably. Beautification. Beautification's got a salary increase, and then you're going to see all of their stuff, other than uniforms went up, and then you're going to also see lawnmower repairs. Beautification, drainage are your two primary. Recreation does a lot of grass cutting, everything around Hilo, 165, around that area, they cut all that. Beautification is another heavy extensive on grass cutting and drainage. City council, this is the budget. 60,000 for salaries, Social Security, health insurance, workers' comp, there's your salary. We put it there for attorney fees. You'll see conference and meetings, some data processing, employee training, got training to go to, janitorial, all supplies. And so we're showing an official budget of $137,120. You review that and get back with Thursday, hey, we need to add such and such additional lines or whatever, let me know. Ad valorem. You're going to see our ad valorem taxes there. I'm going to flip over to the sales tax. That is our big one, is sales tax, the next one. If you will show our, with 6.2 million, we're showing estimate a $62,000 increase in sales tax. 1%. We don't have to get it. We don't, so that's where we're showing there. You got your economic development fund, that is a set figure. We received that from the state, pretty much our hotel motel taxes that are admitted from the state. Economic development, we have that fund in there, 107, so that's staying consistent. Cemetery, I am showing we should, hopefully we'll get $3,100 for revenues. These are strictly donations that we receive during the year for the cemetery account. Tax, we can hit the high point on all the next ones, right there. The summary page, look at your capital budget is based on your sales tax collection of 30% or 25% based on the type of tax. how much goes to caps. Right now, I'm sure should receive that based on the sales taxes, our history. We're gonna be getting around $4,015,000 that we can use for capital. Met with every department, to receive their caps request, everything that they need, equipment, we went through all the departments, zero turners, and we have 5 of them, we need to replace one every year. We have blowers, we have weed eaters, we have units, we have different things that needs to be replaced, we go through those numbers. We're looking at the shop, 28,000, police, 489, we'll cover this on in animal control, you'll see all the numbers through there. And that comes, and we throw in at the very bottom, street overlay, we put 250,000 additionally in street overlay. That gives a total for all the departments with street, $3,095,000. Remember, we got $4,015,000 is what we're estimating. That leaves us $919,000 in caps. If that's, if we need it for streets, if something, major piece of equipment breaks, something like that, that's our funds that we have there. Just so that you know, I do not want to take the cap and max out every penny of it and show it for all for equipment. You get there and you're saying, okay, I've got some money and I've got for streets, I need this worked on, but that's the money I'm gonna be hitting for work with that. All right, if you want, the next pages you're going to see, just to let you know, we do a lease option for a lease purchase option for the vehicles. You're gonna see the shop, you have equipment, and if you'll flip, keep going to department expenditures, keep going to the next picture. Keep flipping, y'all, so you can see the shop. And it shows you see this for every department. I'm leasing 2 trucks for them. They need to have a tire sensor, it's a tire sensor tool, tire balancing machine. That's what they need in the shop. And you can flip through all of these. The big one is the police. Police, we got 19 police interceptors we're leasing. We're gonna be leasing also right now, 6 additional ones, and we got a retrofit those. If you will look at the cost for the 6 police units, it's going to be $76,000 to retrofit them. All with all their cameras and with all the radar and the roll bars and the racking and everything else, it's $94,000. It costs more to fit them than it does for the vehicle.
Wow.
You'll see all of their stuff that they're needing, and all their different things in there. And if you see the last one, is payment number 205 for the Action Tasers, an upgraded taser system. We're paying that over 5 years, so you're going to see this each year. We're making our annual payment. Same thing with animal control. These are the 2 vehicles. They got some chain link dog kennels, pet suites, that's stainless steel kennels, quarantine area, and roof repair. We just had an AC unit go out in there. We have more AC problems in the back. We still have a roof issue over there. So we have several of the things that we've got to fix in animal control. Fire department, seeing all their lease payments, you see it on all their first ones right up there, it's going to be the vehicles. Then you're going to come down and you're going to see the pumper truck, number 10, number 40, number 3. So you're going to see all their trucks that we're paying. That's what we're paying per year for all the vehicles. Then you're going to see bumper gear, bumper coat, bumper boots, hats, helmets, all this stuff. It has a lifespan. It does expire. It doesn't last forever. So we're on replacing those. Also at the bottom, you'll see SCADA bottles. We buy 20 a year. They need 60 bottles total. We bought 20 last year. We buy 20 this year. We'll buy 20 more next year. They have a life of 10 years. So instead of paying $60,000 all at once, we're just kind of getting so many new per year.
I noticed the washer, the bunker washer, it seemed like we've had that on there before. Have we just not purchased it yet, or?
No, we've never had the extractor on there.
Extractor, okay. I knew there was a special like washer for the bunker gear, I thought.
Yes, we haven't bought one that I know of for bunker gear,
Right.
and that's what keeps eating up the washer that we have.
We bought heavy duty washer.
Doesn't work.
It did, that's what, I was the same way, wait a minute, wait just, it didn't hold up. So this is a special one that handle bumper gear and all the chemicals and everything that's associated.
I know we've had it in past, and I guess we just never,
We bought just a heavy duty
Yeah.
washer and it did not hold up.
Yeah.
good deal.
Recreation, we have someone who's got to stand there, we're gonna be looking out, they've been working hard to get paint, stuff to lease the field, use the ballpark, the fields out there. One of the big things is ballpark lights, so, the East Park, y'all see those, I'll look at the name of it, cantilevers, those shade covers and stuff, either that or pavilion. We're gonna be looking at that, adding that more shade area at East Park. We're gonna have the wooden benches replaced with metal ones, the green metal ones that's got the coating, so it's not so, you don't scald yourself when you sit on or get a splinter. We got some fences, we got an AC unit that we need to replace out there at Hickory Street. And you're gonna see on several of them, these Skag zero-turn mowers. A lot of our mowers are old. And so what we're finding, we can take a mower that's gone through drainage or beautification. They've been using all the expressway, all of that stuff, that's everywhere. Take it, bring it back in, put new blades, new spindles on it, new belts, get it to the fire department or to these other departments, and it'll last for several years there. But we're having to replace some of these old ones in these other departments also. The executive, there's 2 vehicles there. City Hall admin, got the printers, hauling for a purchasing building. Public Works admin, releasing a vehicle there, and you get a computer monitor and stuff out there. I gotta get some furniture at Public Works when you go in the door, y'all been there. Y'all need to go to Public Works.
They need some.
Y'all fill this up.
Don't see it.
All right, and fleet management software. We're gonna be getting fleet management software. Mr. Anthony Clayton is our fleet manager. Every vehicle's gonna be listed in the fleet, exact for all changes, inspection stickers, geotab, he does all the tracking of all the vehicles, everything, so he'll be our fleet manager. We get a new vehicle inspection, for our license plates, insurance, all of that. Training, leasing of the vehicles, again, a Skag mower, and they need 2 steel trimmers. Building, leasing the vehicle, just some tools and stuff that they need for the building department to work on stuff. Beautification, leasing of 2 vehicles, that's another Skag, 2 Skag mowers there, 2 steel trimmers, and a blower. Remember, they're heavy on grass. Community services, this is everything inside the buildings you're looking at there, so vehicles, you're gonna come down, they have for community service, they have to mow the grass, maintain everything around their building. So you got zero turn for all their buildings that they're gonna be using. I have a Polaris, they have nothing for when they're doing Fifth Saturday, Mardi Gras, or anything. So we're looking at getting them a unit for that. A blower, a 40-foot Conex container for them to store their mowers and stuff in, their equipment in. We find that the most secure thing to put in. You put a good heavy-duty, cut-proof lock on it, and we find those work. Chairs for the community center, we've been buying 100 a year. We're trying to replace chairs slowly, just like we replaced it here. We're gonna be replacing those. Cameras for the exterior of Main Street, getting the windows at Main Street. We want to do some more cleaning on the inside now. Carpet and doormats for every one of the centers. City of Pineville doormats, the chief and them has been working on that, and it's a real nice doormats for every one of all of our community centers and city hall. Water department, a Skag over there. You have your trash pump. This is a huge trash pump. The 6-inch pump that we use when we have these main water lines that rupture, it can really work some, pump the water so they can get in the hole and do some repairs. Every time we have a water leak, we've been leasing. So let me explain. These leaks do not happen at 8 in the morning. It seems like it's at 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
On a weekend.
We're calling the people. They have to either come from Ellen or it's going to either come from Leesville. Water, we got to wait for them to get here. We got to get the lights set and set everything up before we can even do anything. So it's a long process. We're going to have a pump. There's the suction hose and everything, and Mission Communications is the data communication for all of our pump sites and everything.
Is that what we used to call SCADA?
Yes, sir. That's definitions. And that's the same thing, so we're just gonna have that. This is the newest version. It's coming out with all the upgrades. Wastewater, vehicles that you're seeing at the top, Skag Zero Turn, Mission Communication for 9 of the pump stations. We have 72. So we're gonna do so many. Life vest for the boat. We have a boat at the wastewater treatment plant for the pond out there for us to go work on aerators. We need some new life vests. So we're gonna be getting some nice life vests for the guys out there. Toolkit, backpack blower, aerators for pond, they're $5,000 each. So get 2 of those and submersible induction pumps. Gotta get 2 of those at $5,000 each. Utility admin equipment will be the laptop, projectors for training. Utility admin has found a great thing. They contract out under water, wastewater, you're gonna have your different levels of training, 1, 2, 3, and it goes up to 4. He can bring in a trainer and come here. It's cheaper for us than to send everybody out to hotels and everything, training. We pay for the trainer to come here, but the trainers come with 2 people, they'll do water, wastewater, but they need those little projectors so they can teach their classes. They can do 1 at Main Street, 1 here. So we're gonna get them set up, instead of renting those, I can go ahead and buy them. And so we're just showing $800 for that. 1-inch gas pump they need and some office chairs. We gotta get for their facility. Garbage, we just got the garbage trucks, 3 garbage trucks that we're paying on there. Trash, I got a gravel truck, I got 2 gravel trucks, a debris trailer we gotta get. We need another debris trailer, and then we gotta have parts for all of our trash. Mr. McClendon did a wonderful job, and so we gotta make sure we keep all the trash and everything off the road. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your 25-26 budget. I know we went through it. I'm asking y'all to please look at it. I'm here every day. You got my cell phone. You ladies, hey, we need to look at this. We got all day today through this week. The 30th is our meeting that we're going to adopt the budget. I will be telling you, I have to, this treasurer reminds me, David, there's election next year, where's the election expense account? Department 108 city administration, I'm gonna be adding 8,000 cover election expenses to pay on that. So if you will, I do know that, so if there's something else you see, you have a question, please call me, I'll be glad to have it. Then at the end, I'll tell you whatever changes we have, that's what we're gonna have, and I'll give it to you prior to meeting, so you will have it, and we can adopt the budget on the 30th.
So the election item, the Vexus, if we get there with Vexus, there's 3 or 4 things that Mr. Humphreys has identified that he will be adding to the budget before we look at it. So I'm wondering, can we do a motion to recommend adoption of this pending these final tweaks that we're going to have?
I'll make that motion.
I'll have a motion from Councilman Martin,
I'll second that.
second from Mr. Ford. All in favor? Or any questions? I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to ask them. Any other discussion or questions?
I only had one question. I mean, it's not going to affect the motion, but on the City Hall Administration Department, I know we've been having trouble with the air conditioning, in the past, and it's fixed now. Did we get a new one, or would that have been putting the capital outlay to get a new one?
Do we have that in capital?
No.
Oh, yeah, so, we're actually in the process of that. Hopefully tomorrow, we're gonna put out requests for quotes to 3 separate commercial complete companies that will come in, evaluate our systems on both sides. Because the PD system and our system are intertwined, same chiller, different blow discretionary funding from the legislature also, to maybe help offset some of those costs. So we've got to figure out what that quote is going to be first, that we've got to figure out. And the reason it came about, one of the local companies that was servicing us actually split off and quit doing commercial. Other gentlemen have moved on to a separate company, and they came to that with us last week, and then happened to be another company showed up and met with us at the same time, just cold calling. So that's the kind of reason for the delay in budgets.
So if we can get that in time for the 30th meeting, that will add that, otherwise it'll just be an amendment or something. We'll have to, yeah. Thank you, Chief. Any other questions or observations? I have to say, this is a lot of work that Mr. Humphries has done, and the mayor's staff. Thank you for the good work on recommending the budget. So all in favor of making the motion that Mr. Councilman Martin and Mr. Ford move toward?
Aye.
Anybody opposing that? Okay, so it looks like that carries. We've got some tweaks that we'll be making, and hopefully they won't be too difficult or anything, unexpected, but they are what they're going to be. So, I guess,
Yeah, shoot, we already voted, but just something to keep in mind, and maybe next week, we can add this as well. But I really like, it's just a small little thing, but thank you for putting the fiscal year in there that also has the federal holidays and the city holidays. I know it takes a vote of the council to add another vacation day that's not already listed.
holiday or vacation?
Oh, holiday, not vacation, I'm sorry. Thank you. But we always end up in December and in January. Christmas is on the 25th on a Thursday, and then that Friday, we typically have given that Friday off, and then the same thing in January coming up, which would fall within the year. So just something for the council, that maybe we go ahead and add those days as holidays to the schedule, and we'd already have voted on it rather than waiting.
I think that's always have been an executive call from the administration as to, adding to or maybe diverting a day from the actual holiday to a different day.
Yeah, it kind of depends on, I
Yeah,
guess,
it
maybe
just-
how the actual day falls, if it's in a weekend
And
or
it kind of
whatever.
follows what other municipalities are doing. I think that's kind of how it's always
Yeah,
been.
you've got Thanksgiving Day and day after Thanksgiving. Well, Thanksgiving's always a Thursday, so that's a little different kind of an approach. So, yeah, you're saying,
Right.
go ahead and do something day after, see, the day after Christmas could be a weird.
Well, it's a Friday.
You're talking about like with Christmas and New Year's coming up?
Every day, it won't be the same.
I think he was thinking about doing it just this year.
Oh, just for this year? Ah, just for this year.
Just kind of go
Because
on
I mean,
record.
they may want to do it, but they have to get, ask us.
Approval for it?
Yeah. So anyway, just a thought,
Yeah.
just putting it out there.
I think it's a good idea for the employees, but,
So Ms. Colson just reminded me of something. At the upcoming regular scheduled meeting, y'all will be asked to review the policy manual, the updated policy manual. And those changes are included in the updated policy. So we
So
could
that'll
do
be-
it at that time, instead of doing a separate time.
Okay.
That would be in the July meeting.
Yes, sir. July layover the 30th.
Thank you.
okay. So is there no more business to come before the committee? I would ask if somebody will move to adjourn.
So move.
Any second?
Second.
Second, so we are adjourned. All in favor of adjournment? Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody, for being here.